You got it?
Awesome. Okay, so we're live. Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is Tam Dang speaking, and I'm coming to you from my home here in Bargara, Queensland, Australia. This is another Team Take Massive Action Hangout. This is actually our Hangouts number 32. I'm so pumped because we've got tonight a very special guest here with us. His name is Mr. John Blaze Chatman. Now, a personal experience. I've been online since 2009, and one of the leaders that I've been following around and seeing all over the place, always among the top producers in this industry, is Mr. John Chatman. And you know, guys, I just right now I'm just so excited to have him on. I feel like screaming a little bit, but there's people outside this room. They're probably gonna think something's wrong up here, right? So I'm not gonna do that. But I just want to say that, look, I had the intention when I joined Empower that I was going to meet John, and along with the other leaders inside this industry. I wanted to surround myself with leaders, and what happened was the closest thing I got was a picture with John at the events, and here we go. A couple of events later, John is actually here with us on a live Hangouts, and I don't know, a couple of months later, a couple of events later, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be really exciting. So yeah, I just can't wait. John's going to share his story tonight, and we're probably going to go into some Q&A if we have time, and so there's going to be a lot of nuggets being dropped. What I'm going to do right now is just to acknowledge my panel here, my teammates, and guest William Rodriguez. He was we had a hangout with him previously the other day, and it was a fantastic hangout. So from your right to left, we have Mr. William Rodriguez. William, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm pumped. So excited. Always. Yeah, awesome. Tin, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and very happy to be on this panel tonight, so looking forward to it. Thanks, Tam.
And then next to me, we have on my left, we have Mr. Chatman. But hey, how you doing? So glad you could be here.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be amongst action takers, and that's actually one of the things that we are going to be going into tonight, how action taking can quite literally change your life.
Awesome, can't wait for that. And next to Mr. Chatman, we have JJ. How you doing, JJ?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you, Tam, and thank you, John, for coming on to our Hangout tonight. We feel very honored and privileged to have you here. Can't wait to hear your story and get to ask you questions. Pick your brain.
That's all good.
By the way, I'm from Austin, Texas, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, and just make sure you give them some of the hardest questions, because we're having for like an hour. Emily, how you doing over there?
I'm great. On my end?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do about that.
There's a lot of
anyway, hi guys. My name is Emily Nguyen. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and it's so awesome to be on this panel with John and William, who joined us again. So thanks for coming on, guys. And I just can't wait to hear what everybody has to share here about action taking, like John mentioned. And back to you, Tam.
Awesome. And on your far left, we have Mr. Alan Luck, all the way from Canada. How you doing, Alan?
Hey, Tim, and all of you amazing panel, and especially John, as well as William. I'm doing fantastic tonight. I got a privilege to listen to John speak at the Prosperity Mastermind in Chicago. He was just wonderful. He's definitely a tremendous leader in the industry that really give a lot of value. So I cannot wait to hear what he has to share tonight. Back to you, Tim.
Awesome. our guest of panel here, starting from Alan, he is an expert in solo ads. He can bring traffic to your website just like that, and he's very skilled at that. We're very lucky to have him on the team. Emily is video marketing queen, right? She can rank just like that, and it's pretty awesome. JJ is being cultivated by some of the top leaders in this industry, Peter Sorensen, Chuck Marshall, and I just can't wait to see what the final product's going to be like. Tin is a marketer here from Australia. I met her in Austin, also at the Orlando event, where we learned some real ninja marketing tricks from Lawrence Tam himself, and so she's got a lot to bring to the table. William, of course, is exceptional. He's one of a kind, a great marketer that I was privileged to be able to meet in Austin, and so it's great. But now I want to shift your focus back to Mr. John Chatman. Like I said, he's been in the industry for a long time, and if you've read my copy today, he's persistent, he's consistent, he's the hardest working marketer that you will ever meet. And the thing is, when I first met Mr. John Chatman in Austin, he's to me, like, he was just so kind and so nice, right? I mean, he has no hesitation. When I asked him to make a video with me, to take a picture with me, there was no hesitation. Actually, I remember it was very loud, and he said, "Hey, look, let's move over here to a quiet spot, and we make sure you get a good video." So I was like, man, none of the other leaders would probably do that. And so, so he's a guy who's very kind-hearted. He's open tonight. He just want to free flow. Whatever that's going to happen is going to happen. He just want to come from the heart. With that being said, we're going to turn to Mr. John Chatman. You have the floor, my friend. Just let us know about your story, your background, where you've come from, why you're here, and we'll go from there.
Rock and roll, rock and roll. Well, you know what, Tam and the crew, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me out. It really means a lot to me. And as we go through my story, you will see just how incredible moments like these really are to me on a personal basis. Now, I actually got started in the industry over 6.5 years ago, 6.5 years ago. Now, I don't know if there are any folks out there who aren't creating the type of success that they want to have, because quite frankly, that is where I was when I first started in network marketing. I didn't know anything about online activities. I was the offline guy. As a matter of fact, I was the guy who was tapping shoulders in grocery store lines, or I was hitting people up at gas stations with my DVD, or going into the mall parking lot and putting little leaflets on cars, trying to build my business that way. I kid you not. I actually sponsored someone out of the mall parking lot. It's hilarious. But the bottom line there is that for my first several years in network marketing, I failed, and I mean, I failed incredibly bad. My very first year that I was in business, I made no money. I literally went one whole year and made no money. So nowadays, when people come onto my team and they say something along the lines of, well, I'm going to go ahead and try this out for 90 days, and if it doesn't work, then, I'll know that it's not for me. And right then and there, I have no problem in telling people, and I've told several people, you should probably not even get in, because if you already have that attitude, what you're telling me is that you're not the person that I need to be spending my time with. And as a leader, and everyone that's on this call, especially everyone that's on this panel, you have to realize that you're a leader. You first lead yourself, then you lead the many, right? That's the key. You first lead yourself, then you lead the many. As a matter of fact, before I even go forward, for all our folks out there in internet land, if you have a pen and a paper, pencil, paper. I want you guys to go ahead and grab that right now, because what I'm going to be giving you some really key points tonight that you're going to be able to go ahead and incorporate into your game that is going to allow you to become a more powerful leader, a more effective networker, and is really going to be able to empower you to greater levels of success and pleasure within your life. Okay, we are actually going to make this a study tonight because you guys are giving me the floor, so it's on and cracking. So here's the deal. Okay, the very first thing, and we will be getting back to my story throughout this whole little session. But there's a couple of ground rules that I personally have when I bring someone onto my team. This is something that you guys should incorporate into your own processes, because what it does is that it saves you time. It saves you time because it allows you to focus on those who deserve your focus, not who need. Okay? It is a leader's responsibility. It is a leader's it's part of leadership that you only give attention to those who deserve your attention, not those who need it. And now it's up to the leader to show their team how to deserve that attention. How do you acquire the attention of a leader? You produce. That's one. If you want to get in touch, if you want to acquire the attention of your mentor, if your mentor is a busy person like my mentor is, my mentor happens to be probably the busiest person in Power Network. He's also one of my friends, one of my best friends, just incredible history with this guy. You guys may know him, a gentleman by the name of David Wood. He is my personal sponsor and my mentor. He's a really great guy, but you know, being sponsored by David Wood can be really tough on a lot of people, especially if you're not a strong person, because quite frankly, David's team is the company. So when he thinks on a macro level, and you have to fight, you have to produce, you have to be consistent in order to gain his attention. And that's what I do every day. So, point. Every day, you should strive to be worthy of your mentor's attention. Every day, you strive to be worthy of your mentor's attention, and you do that by taking action. One of the key things is that I let my people know that they do not come to me with tech support questions, okay? I'm not tech support. I don't like doing tech support. If I start doing tech support, I start making tech support money, which is not a good thing. I like the money that I make. I like the success that I create. This lesson was actually taught to me by David Wood. He would know things about how to do something with the website or whatever it is that we were trying to do back in the day, and he would tell me how. He was like, "Look, John, that's something that you could find out on your own." Even if it were to take him 20 seconds to actually show me how or to tell me how, he wouldn't do it. And he taught me to be independent. He taught me to be my own leader. That's another key point. You manifest the leadership qualities of that person that you would follow the most. That's another key point. You become the best leader that you know, because when that happens, sponsoring becomes second nature. It's nothing. It's so easy. It's so easy. Okay. Now back to my story. So my very first year in network marketing, I pounded the pavement. I made cold calls. I did the whole nine, guys. You know, I was dealing with a real estate product. I would be up over here in California. I'd be up by 4:30 so that I could be on the phones by 5. But by 5 or 6, it's been several years now. But the point of the matter is that I would take advantage of the 3-hour time difference between California and Florida, so that when those realtors and those brokers were just getting into their brokerage, I would be giving them a cold call. And then I'd go to work at my call center job, I'd work all day, sometimes hit some overtime, and then I'd come home. I'd spend a little bit of time with my honey because we didn't have children, thank God, at the time. But then I'd hop on the phones again, and then I'd cold call Hawaii because of the 3 and the 4 hour difference in time. So I'd be cold calling people for several hours a day. And I don't know if anyone's out there who has actually experienced that, where they've actually had to pick up the phone and cold call folks. But I got to tell you, coming from where I was at, where when I was a child, I could hardly speak. I literally could hardly speak because I had such a bad stuttering problem. Like, even this sentence right now, I'm like, even this sentence right now, it would take me several minutes just to get out one sentence. And it wasn't until the 7th grade where I remember this just like the back of my hand. It was 7th grade, and we were all taking turns reading a passage from a book, right? Reading a passage from a book. And because of the issue that I had at the time, whenever we started to read from the book out loud, I started to sweat. I started to, almost hyperventilate because of the self-imposed pressure that I put myself under, because I knew that I was going to stutter all the way out the door. And that's actually very symbiotic to what a lot of people feel when they join a business. A lot of the pressure that people feel is really self-imposed. So if you just take a step back and really let things roll, making sure that you on a personal basis are doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis, those daily actions, daily disciplines create empires. As long as you know that you are conducting yourself according to your goals, according that you are implementing those daily disciplines, you don't get hung up on the outcome. Like for myself on a personal basis, I was putting myself under a lot of undue pressure, and the result of that was that I couldn't speak worth a damn. I stuttered horribly bad. Now I remember I was the last person to have to read, and I had to read a paragraph. Now you're like, a paragraph, that's not a big deal. But if you have trouble, if it takes you 3 minutes to get out a sentence, one paragraph is the world. When you have 25, 28 other kids staring at your back, and you're sweating your ass off, and you're almost hyperventilating, it becomes a big deal. So I'm in the process of starting to try to read this paragraph, and the buzzer goes off. God. My initial reaction was like, yeah, cool, I don't have to read, I felt really great about it. I was like, cool, I got out of it. And then the teacher said something that even to this day, even right now, I feel like a hollow pit in my stomach. She said, no one leaves until John finishes. No one leaves until John finishes? I'm like, do you hate me? Why? Do you hate me? And then I hear from the back of the room, the next row over, I hear this young girl, her name is Tanya Thurman. It's funny what you can remember. Tanya said, oh great, we are going to be here forever. And I hear a bunch of laughter. And I don't know if you guys have ever been at a point in your life where you've ever been really embarrassed, where your whole head heats up and you feel really self-conscious, like a real embarrassing moment. Well, that's what I felt. I felt really embarrassed. And right then and there, when she did that, something clicked inside of me, because I was able to finish that paragraph relatively fast, and then as soon as I finished it, I hear Tanya Thurman again. Tanya Thurman just loved to talk. Tanya said, "Dang, I didn't know John could speak that fast." Yeah, it's funny. But the lesson here was I remember walking out of that classroom, you know, my shirt damn near drenched in sweat because of the pressure that I put myself under. You know, feeling the shame of people laughing at me, feeling like I was pretty low. You know, that was a really low point. But I made a decision. I made a decision right then and there that I would do anything, that I would put myself in any situation, that I would conquer that issue, that disability that I had. From that point forward, every opportunity to do public speaking I took. In high school, I took debate. I took drama. In college, I remember doing a play where I was the lead role. And this took me years and years and years, but I finally beat it. And now I make my living by engaging people, you know, via video, just the way that I'm doing right now. But the moral of the story here is that I made a decision. That's what people have to realize. It's not this or that. You not do this, you not do that. It's you make a decision and you go after it. And there is no plan B. What is plan B? If you guys don't hit that button and get started with us today, right now, what is your plan B? What is your plan B? Are you going to go work for a corporation that is going to lay you off as soon as times get tough, or as soon as they can find someone who can do your job at less than half the cost? Are you going to go work 40 years in the workplace to retire on 40% of what you couldn't live on in the first place, to only have to go and grab a job in your golden years at the Golden Arches, aka McDonald's, or be a greeter over there at Walmart? And no disrespect to anyone who is doing those jobs right now, but the bottom line is that if they would have made better economic choices, better decisions in their life, they wouldn't be doing that right now, because the quality of our life is dictated upon the quality of our decisions. You guys should write that down. The quality of our life is dictated upon the quality of our decisions. Right now you have the opportunity to go ahead and engage in the Empower Network. The Empower Network is, quite frankly, the best thing since sliced bread, and we will get into it why. But here's the thing. My very first year in my network marketing experience, I failed. I failed horribly. I made no money. I spent a whole lot of money. I spent a whole lot of money, like literally thousands and thousands of dollars, because that initial price point, that initial ticket, wasn't any small little piece of cake. It was $16,000 that I put out there, and I made no money. I made no money at the time. So at the time, you could say that it was a total wash, that it was just a bad investment. But in reality, what I gained from that, and what I've been able to share with others, makes that $16,000 investment that I made, 6.5 years ago, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, after the first year, even though other people were making lots of money, even though there were leaders that were making like $50,000, $60,000 in a weekend, and I made no money, I set it upon myself that, you know what, maybe it's the company, maybe it's the comp plan, maybe it's the leadership that I've engaged with whatever it is, it's not working for me. So I went ahead and quit, what most people do. Then I went ahead and went on to the next company, where I proceeded to yet again stay one more year, and I made no money. Now, I just want to ask a question to our panel. If you spent 2 years and made no money, would the thought have crossed your mind to quit? Anyone? Will?
That's a good question. It probably would have crossed my mind. Matter of fact, it definitely would have crossed my mind. I'm gonna say that.
That's cool, man, because it crossed my mind too, bro. How about you, Tam? If you'd have went two years,
It definitely have crossed my mind. I started internet marketing in '09, and I didn't make money until I found Empower. So it did cross my mind many, many times.
rock and roll, and you, JJ?
Yeah, it would definitely have crossed my mind. 2 years, 1 year maybe not, but 2 years it would have crossed my mind. Yes.
Good, good, because quite frankly, at the time, I was pretty discouraged. But if there was anything that I had learned, from having dealt with my disability when I was a kid, was that if I just stuck in there and I worked hard at it, that something might be able to happen. Now, after the 2 year mark, I actually made a little bit of money. And when I made a little bit of money, I mean like truly a little bit of money, like 30, 40 bucks or whatever. But 30, 40 bucks after 2 years of no money, that's like 30 or 40,000 almost. But I remember 2.5 years in, okay, 2.5 years from the time that I first signed my name on the dotted line, when I saw the network marketing opportunity, the network marketing industry. 2.5 years in, it was a Saturday afternoon, and my honey, the mother of my children, the woman that I love, she said, "Hey, John, I need to talk to you." And I don't know about you guys, but anytime that a woman has ever said to me that I need to talk to you, and that matter, it's never ended well. Not one time. So again, I felt myself sitting on a couch on a Saturday afternoon in my living room with my honey right next to me. She's holding my hand. I was like, oh, crap, dude. A, what did I do? Or B, what didn't I do? Those were the things that were rolling through my mind. And I remember what she said. She said, "Hey, babe, you know that I love you, right?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Okay." I said, "Okay." I said, "What's up?" She said, "I know that you've had your heart set on this whole network marketing dream, but we're 2.5 years into this, and I can't help but think that if you would have spent the last 2.5 years, building a traditional business, that you'd be a lot further along than what you are right now. Because remember, 2.5 years, I've maybe made like 30 or 40 bucks, maybe $100, right? And I've spent a lot of money." Then she said, "Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time you started looking for something else? Maybe network marketing isn't right for you. Maybe network marketing isn't right for you." Now, I really call that my come to Jesus moment. It was the moment where it was, if you ever get an opportunity to hear yourself speak and not realize that it's you speaking, it's very surreal. It's very surreal. Because as soon as she said that, like literally as soon as she said that, I heard someone speaking. I heard someone speaking, and it wasn't until about 20 or 30 seconds in that I realized that it was me. And I heard myself say, I will never quit. I will never quit. If someone else can do this, so can I. And that's what I said. And from that point forward, I knew down deep in my heart that it would work out for me. I knew down deep at the pit of who I was that it would work out for me. Now, did everything turn into wine and roses right off the bat? No. As a matter of fact, it did not. You know, I still have my struggles. But when did it all turn around for me? When did it finally happen? Funny enough, after 7 or 8 companies, after not quitting, after years of making no money, it all turned around for me when I found the Empower Network. And that's the God's honest truth. Back on March of 2012, I was introduced into Empower. Now remember, David Wood has been one of my best friends for the past 3 years. He and I, we had built other things together in that interim period. But because of the BS and the bullshit that the rest of the industry is about, where they sell you one dream, that 2 to 5 year plan that no one makes, you know, out of the whole industry, there's only a very handful, a very small handful of people that actually make it in the MLM network marketing, the traditional network marketing industry, as opposed to Empower Network, where you're in a room of 4 and 5 and 5,000 people, and 95% of the room stand up because they've made money. You know, that's just breathtaking to me. That's, you know, that feeds me. That feeds my soul. Now, I had stayed out of the industry for a year and a half, maybe even almost, for about a year and a half, because I was tired of the bullshit that the rest of the industry was about. You know, the backroom deals and all the other stuff. And it wasn't until my friend David told me about his deal that he owned, and because I trusted him, and because, you know, because I love the guy, that I even gave this a chance. And I got to tell you, I'm so incredibly glad that I did, because another crazy thing happened in March of 2012. On March 30th of 2012, after 4.5 years in corporate America, after months where I would go in at 7 a.m. and I'd leave at 7 p.m. because that was the busy season, and I worked for a large HMO over here on the West Coast. If I told you the name and you were familiar with the medical industry, you would know the name. It's the biggest one, period. And after months and after years, after 4.5 years of being a corporate slave, and that's what I called myself, because that's what I was. You know, these guys dictated when I got up in the morning. These guys dictated when I ate breakfast, when I had lunch, when I would go to the restroom, when I take a break. And they paid me what it is that they wanted to pay me, what it is that they could get away with paying me. That's the key here. They didn't do it because I was just a nice guy. They did it because they gained more value than what it is that they paid me. And then when they found a way to pay someone else less and still gain that same amount of value, they discarded me like old cheese is what they did, because they went ahead on March 30th, 2012, just a little over a year ago, myself and 180 of my colleagues at at the MSTC here in Stockton, California, they laid us off. Now, I don't know if anyone else out there has ever been through a layoff, or if they've known someone who's been laid off, or if they're trying to even find a job right now in today's outside world. But it's craziness. It's craziness. People are looking for like a year, like 2 years, educated people. God forbid you should be coming out of school with a advanced degree, MBA, PhD, because that means that you're basically qualified to wait tables over there at Denny's or at Red Lobster or something, because that's where most MBAs are, unfortunately, in today's world. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. So here I am, March 30th, 2012, and I don't have a job, and I have 3 kids, 1 teenager and 2 small kids who are now 2 and 5. Now, I remember coming out, picking up my very last paycheck, and my family is inside the car, my 2 small ones and my honey. And I remember getting into my car and giving her the paycheck so that she could put away. And I told her, I said, babe, I don't know how, but I know that within 1 year of today, I will never work a corporate job again in my life. I will be my own man. And funny enough, I did. But the key here is that I was fortunate. I was one of the fortunate ones in that I was a union man. So that 4.5 years that I worked on the job, I worked for a union. And because of my union contract, they had to pay me 1 year's severance pay spaced out over the course of the year. Now, you would think that anyone who had that amount of time would put in a massive amount of work to actually create a business. And you would actually be wrong, because human nature, I found, unless you've disciplined yourself otherwise, is to go ahead and take the longest amount of time to do something that has been allotted to you. So if you know that you need to do something, by 12 a.m. tonight, most people are going to wait until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. and then cram everything down within that short period of time. And quite frankly, I was no different, because back on December of 2012, after 6 years in the business, after X number of months full-time, quote-unquote, in the business, I only made, get this, guys and gals, my total income for December of 2012 was $2,750 for my online activities. Now, I have my second come to Jesus moment there, because here's the key. I had to make a decision right then and there. If I was going to go for it, I needed to go for it, or I needed to go and find a job. Now remember, I told my honey, 9 months prior to, that I was going to be free. So that meant that within that space of time, I had to do some massive action. I had to take massive action and actually make that happen, right? So what I did was I realized that everything that I had done up to that point wasn't getting me what I needed to have. $2,700 in addition to a full-time income is great if you have an additional $2,700, but $2,700 as your full-time income over here in California, that's not cutting it. That is certainly not cutting it. That's not cutting it for a single person. That's certainly not cutting it for a guy who's head of household, who's got a family to feed, who's got bills to pay. No way near. So I had to make a decision. Again, The power of a decision. That's the key here. I made a decision, I made a commitment, and then I took the daily disciplines, because that's when I got really serious about my business. Now, from the time from December, where I only made $2,700, till the end of March, I created, March was an $11,000 month for me. It was an $11,000 month for me. I went from December 2,700, 2,750, to March being over, just a little bit over 11,000, to April being over 13,000. How did I do that? It's the power of focus. It's the power of actually implementing a proven process, a proven system that will actually get you to where you want to go. I started to actually tie into everything that was taught from stage. You know, I got to the event. The event down over there in Austin, where I met Tam, changed my life. It quite literally changed my life. So anyone out there who is considering about maybe, possibly, hopefully getting to the next event, what I can tell you is that events change lives. They've changed my life so that now I actually, you know, the crazy thing is that I really plan everything now from event to event. From Austin to Chicago, from Chicago to Denver. Those are nice little 90-day increments of time that you can create goals, that you can really, you know, elevate yourself to not only the next level, the next income level, but the next spiritual level, the next self-development level. Everything is based on 90-day runs now for me, and I couldn't be happier. Because now every event I get to go and I get to party out with my family, with my team, with my community, where I get to learn how to become more wealthy, how to have a bigger impact on people's lives. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So the key here is that you need to focus in. You need to take daily actions. As a matter of fact, I want to show you guys something. Let me I actually put down a post today, secrets of a 100K per month earner. And these secrets were compiled from one of our leaders, well, actually from several of our leaders. One of our leaders, such as Tony Rush, a gentleman that earns in excess of $100,000 a month, $150K a month. David Wood and David Sharp, they earn over $500,000 a month. And one of the things that they preach and that they live by is having a core set, a core routine that they do day in and day out, day in and day out. They have certain activities that they do not go to sleep unless those activities have been done. And when I think back to how I was able to create such a massive amount of leverage, where in 6 years I had only been able to get up to $2,750 per month. After 6 years, and then within a space of about 3 months, I more than tripled that. I more than tripled that in the space of 3 months. How did I do that? Well, I got focused, and then here's the key. I read daily, I marketed daily, I blogged daily, and I listened to empower audios daily, empowering audios. You know, those are 4 of our 8 core commitments as a successful and empowered entrepreneur here at the Empower Network. You know, that's one of the key ways that the Empower Network is different than anything else out there. We actually build people from the ground up, take them from where they are, grow them through the mindset, grow them through the real-world skills, the training, stuff that you're going to actually learn, how to drive massive traffic in the 15K formula, how to implement strong leadership skills in the Costa Rica, how to take your $10,000 a month income up to $200,000 a month in the master's formula, or our self-development product, the Inner Circle, where every day, at a moment's notice, you can go ahead and download that, and you have a $100,000 a month earner. You have a $70,000 a month earner. You have a $50,000 a month earner. You have a $500,000 a month earner speaking into your ear. And you can play those over and over and over again, because this is the key. This is the key. When your beliefs change, when you adopt the belief patterns of those that have which you desire, your beliefs will cause you to take different actions. Belief, action, result. Belief, action, result. You adopt the belief patterns of those who have what you want, you will automatically adopt the action patterns, which in turn will allow you to manifest those results that you've been desiring. That's the key. That's how you go ahead and create massive success within your business, by paying attention to those who have what you want and doing exactly what they say. That's the key, brother.
Wow, awesome. Oh, man. We got another 15 minutes. You want to take the whole 15 minutes? No.
You guys have some Q&A?
Oh, man. This, wow. Guys, this is the thing, right? A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people just sort of look at themselves and they worry about the little problems that they have, right? For example, I used to be, when I was 16, right, one of the top break dancer in WA, right? And one day when we were dancing in the streets, a couple of girls walked past, and they said, one girl uttered into the air that, you know, these break dancers, I think they're too good because they're only break dancers, right? And that one comment alone sort of put me in a hole. 5 years later, I was like shutting myself away from the world. I stayed away from social events. I was just, you know, I was just down, sad and depressed because I was just, you know, like John said, putting myself into a situation, putting myself under this pressure, and believing what the girls were saying. And why I'm telling you this is because just last year when I went to an event, I had a transformation, right? I overcame this problem because one kid in this event, right, he went on stage and he performed a wonderful rap, right? And after that rap, he bust this rap and he was like Eminem. Everyone was like jaw dropped. He came off stage, and then when he shared his story, it was similar like to John's story just now. He had problems growing up with speech patterns, like he couldn't speak, right? And similar to John, who had a problem like that. And little do we, like, you know what I mean? Like, but we overlook the fact that we can actually talk and communicate, right? And we worry and we're concerned about other things, right? But just the simple fact that we can communicate and that when growing up, we can actually make friends just by talking to people. And there are people like John who have problems, you know, personally like that, where he is out of his control, and he just was having a hard time through life. And so with that, you know, John, I commend you for that. And a lot of people out there need to realize, you know, you can overcome lots of little challenges that you have in your life. It's no problem. It's how you see it. It's the perception. It's how you frame it, right? It's what you put. It's what you think, right? So basically, you are in control of how you feel your life. You take action, right, to and have the belief that you can overcome this, and have a strong enough determination like John. You can definitely overcome any challenges. During the course of tonight's hangout, if you just want to hit that yellow button below this video anytime. It will open a new window. You won't be taken away from this Hangout. Just sign up. Just join right now, because you want to join because you want to now be a part of this leadership company, this leadership panel right here. Whoever brought you here, take action immediately, because if you don't take action, nothing's going to change in your life. And you know, we want to cultivate you. We want to turn you into the leader that you deserve to be, right? And we have great leadership here.
You really hit on a very important point. There's a lot of areas in everyone's life out there where they're not in a very empowering environment. You know, when they go to their job, they, you know, one of the things that I used to really hate, about my job was all the BS politics. I am a very straightforward speaking type of cat. I don't like to mince my words. I'd like to have people know exactly where I'm coming from. That way they don't get it twisted. You know, and maybe it's probably because of where I was raised. But I don't like having to deal with office politics. So now what most people do, what most people do is they go to a work environment that really isn't all that healthy to their personal mindset. They go in and they hear a bunch of people whining and bitching and complaining about how bad things are at the office. Then they deal with a supervisor that is afraid that if they promote you, or that if they say too many good things about you, that you're going to get ideas about their job, and they don't have anywhere to go. So they're going to go ahead and use their power, for the most part, to go ahead and subjugate you to their will. And then and a lot of times they'll make you do stupid stuff that really doesn't even make sense. Now, here's the key. You weigh that, all the BS that comes along with a traditional job, as opposed to when you actually engage in the Empower Network community. Because, you know, one of the things that people really need to understand and to realize, Pam, Jay, everyone out on the panel, we're not. I'm not part of Team Take Massive Action, but yet we are part of the Empower Network family. We can come together to empower each other by utilizing the resources that we have. Now that to me, on a personal basis, I've never had that. I've never had that in my networking experience. I certainly have never had that at a JOB, where people can come together and actually empower each other, actually lift the other person up, be happy for that person's success. And that is one of the things that you are really going to find when you click that yellow button and you choose to engage, when you choose to become part of our Empower Network family. You're not just joining a company, you're joining a movement. What we're doing today, right now, is a movement. The success, the stories that we've been able to create in the year and a half or so that we've been in business since October 31st of 2011, it has been unprecedented. Unprecedented in the home-based business industry, or quite frankly, in any industry. We are one of the fastest growing companies out there that actually empower people to lives of freedom. You know, I sit here right now in my back bedroom. I've got my family over there in our living room enjoying life, you know, having just cashed out just a ginormous amount of money. It's just it's craziness, and that's only getting bigger. But even more so than that, I've never spent more time with my family than what I've done now. You know, when my son, Eris, the 19-year-old, when he was young, I worked my butt off. I mean, I worked my butt off. And I was always chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing, but I would never get anywhere. And I worked like a dog. I mean, I'm serious, folks. I worked hard because I wanted to be able to provide my family with what I didn't have. Now, it wasn't until I got around the folks over here at Empower Network, and I actually understood the inner workings of how to create success, how to attract success. Remember, success isn't something that you chase after. Success is attracted by who you become. I learned that I need to go ahead and develop myself first as a person, as a leader, and those who were meant to connect with me would. I learned that there is a very specific set of daily actions that I need to be taking in order to manifest the lifestyle that most people will only dream about. Because what are most people doing? They are living quiet lives of desperation. You know, that's the God's honest truth. They're living quiet lives of desperation, and it's our opportunity to give them hope. Because I got to tell you, later on this very year in 2013, I'm actually moving to San Diego. We were going to be moving out to Chile, but because the kids are still a little bit young, we are going to keep them here in the States. We're going to go live in one of the most beautiful areas in America, San Diego, in a really nice neighborhood that I'm researching right now. I'll live right off the beach. And we are to live life. And I spend more time with my family today than I ever have. Literally, I was outside as I look out my window right now, earlier today, beneath my patio umbrella, as my kids were playing in the backyard, running through the sprinklers, and I was typing up my post with the full intention that my post on my blog was going to be able to empower other people to live lives of freedom. Now, I don't know anywhere else in the world, period, that you can get the community, that you can get the culture, that you can get the training, that you can get the mentorship, that you can get the love, that you can feel empowered like you can feel here at the Empower Network. You know, and it just so happens that our name is the Empower Network, so it sort of fits. But the bottom line here is that if you want to do more, be more, have more, if you want to grow yourself as a person, if you want to grow your bank account, if you want to live a prosperity-based life, if 1 year from now you want to be able to walk into your JOB and say, thank you, I appreciate what you've been able to do for myself, for my family, but I don't need you any longer, and it's no disrespect, but now my life is my own. And now I get to travel the world doing whatever it is that I want, and I get to go all around the world empowering people. Or maybe you just want to stay home and work from your sofa. That's pretty cool too, though. The bottom line is that whatever it is that you want to do, whatever plans that you have for yourself, even if it's just to add an additional $500 a month, or if it's to go baller style and go $50K a month, you have the opportunity to do so. But it all starts with the decision, the power of a decision, then having the intestinal fortitude to take those daily disciplines can and will change your life. So click the yellow button, go ahead and get started today, and make sure that you're down over there in Denver so that we can help you change your life. Now I got to go and spend some time with my family. It's been an incredible time connecting with you guys. TMA, take massive action. Absolutely rocks. Prosperity Team rocks. Empower Network rocks. See you guys.
John, thank you for being on, and have a good time with your family.
All right, guys.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
That's what internet marketing is all about. You're able to just build your business from home. You know, you come on for an hour or so, you spit some love, and then you can move on to your family. What John was talking about before with the teams, right? I am a part of Team Tech Massive Action. I also have access to Team Prosperity's training and all their team sites. And the thing with the teams inside of Empower is they're all open for anyone inside of Empower to plug into their training. So there's no like, this is my team, no, you can't have access because you're not a part of our team. We're all open because we are a leadership development community. We want to develop you guys to becoming great, better leaders. So there's no reason to shut you off. And we have abundance mentality just like that. One of the things that John also touched on was Oh, it was a very big point. Um, just trying to search my mind right now for it, but uh, actually, it will come back to me. But right now, what I want to do is I want to move from right to left. We're going to start with William, and William, you've you've heard John. What's on your mind at the moment? What?
Well, think about John, man. John, that's my man. Like, I got the pleasure of working with him on a daily basis. I got the pleasure of masterminding with him on a daily basis through the different trainings and mastermind calls that we partake in. And I could tell you, man, that's one stand-up dude, and he definitely walks the walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he said, "First lead yourself," I had to post that on Facebook. First lead yourself and lead the many. Right? Y'all already know my story. Y'all know how I am about personal development, and so that hit home with me because I know and understand that you can't change anybody until you change yourself. Like I said last week, uh, and leading somebody is basically in a sense changing them because you're trying to steer somebody off from doing something that's not serving them uh, at this point in time in their life. So you lead them, and so if you can't if you can't lead yourself, you can't really lead nobody else. Like Rumi said, he said, yesterday I was clever, so I tried to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. So, it's about that internal, it's about that journey inward. And John Chatman, man, he's the epitome of that. I've seen him, I watched him. We've grown together, we've progressed together. He's been in, obviously, he's been in a little longer than me. He came in uh, underneath David Wood a little while longer than me. However, like I said, I've had the pleasure of working with him and masterminding with him pretty much since I've been on the prosperity team for about 7 months now. And I can tell you, like I said, that's one stand-up dude. So that's my thoughts on John Chapman. I'm glad he was here. He came to hang out with us. Definitely always dropping some jewels. I got a whole 3 pages full of full of notes from him. There always be a lot of notes from John Chapman, a lot of jewels. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Man. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, no, he's absolutely phenomenal. The stuff that he's sharing. My the thing that I wanted to share before it actually came back, and what it was that I wanted to share was, empower is really hard to explain, as John was sort of trying to give you a vivid image of what we have inside of empower, culture, community, and all that kind of stuff. But it's so hard to explain. But the best way that I can what I can tell you is this: last night for me and this whole morning, I've been talking to a friend, and and she's asking me about empower. And she's giving me all these. She came from a network marketing background, very intelligent, very smart. She's running her own events. She's actually teaching network marketers right now how to build their business and stuff. And she had herself personally been a top producer in many companies. But she asked me about empower, and she first of all, she's not the right prospect for me, right? She doesn't do online marketing, so of course I wasn't trying to recruit her, but I was trying to give her the best reason why I'm with Empower. And towards the end of the conversation this morning, she asked me about the belief. She said, as long as you believe in the company, because she actually done some research, and she's like, oh, she's not sure about the company. They've got good products, but for someone looking in, they might think it's a scam or something like that. It looks a little shifty. It's not in the DSAA, website, whatever that means. I have no idea, right? So maybe she's trying to say that it could be illegal. I don't know, right? But the thing is, she asked me, as long as you're doing something that you believe in, then that's okay. My reply to her was this, right? During my course of learning internet marketing and through network marketing, I have listened to a lot of audios and I've read a lot of books, right, to condition my mind. And one of the guy that I listened to was Brian Tracy, and he said that if you're in the business of selling a certain product that you could not sell to your grandmother, right, you're in the wrong business. Get out immediately, right? And you know, I can tell you honestly, right, I have never marketed any business as I have with Empower, because once you've been inside of Empower, you're going to feel passionate like each one of us here, right? I can definitely tell you that I will, you know, this is something that I will get to my grandmother, right? Because it contains personal development, it contains internet marketing, two of the most critical thing I believe for success, because you need the right mindset and you need the ability to market if you want to be successful. So that's what we have here inside of Empower, and that's just what I want to share. Right now, we're going to move on to Tin very quickly. Tin, what's on your mind?
I just thought it was really interesting that you know, John's been online for however many years it was, 6 years, whatever it was he said, and he joined Empower Network and just like, what's that noise?
Sorry, it's my dog is sneezing. Hold on.
Just joining Empower Network and being part of this community, and how much of a huge difference it's made to his business. You know, just plugging in, listening to all the leaders, doing what the leaders tell him to do, and you know, like he said, we're all, well, he's from a different team from what we are, but we're still all working together, and that has just like changed his income. Like he told you, you know, he went from $2,900 to what, $11,000, $12,000 a month, and that in itself is just, to me, it just blows my mind. It's just so powerful. You know, you're plugging into a community. I know it sounds sappy and soppy, but we're all just one big family, and that's why a lot of people stick around. You know, they plug in and they're communicating with like-minded people. They're being led by leaders, by, you know, outstanding leaders, and that's what you're getting. It's not just about the money with Empower Network. It's not. It is so much more than that, and you don't actually see that or realize that until you're actually part of it, and you know, you immerse yourself into it. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. So just click the link below this this hangout.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's good stuff, though. That's true story. Like family.
Yeah.
JJ, what's on your mind?
Oh gosh, there was so many things John said that really resonated with me. You know, from having, actually, I didn't really know that he had a real estate background, which is awesome. I was gonna jokingly ask him if it was him that called me that one time. You know, when he was making cold calls to realtors from coast to coast. I have a real estate background, yeah. So, but anyway, and then, you know, his speech impediment when he was a child, he overcame that. You know, and I mean, what excuse do I have? I have, you know, I mean, I had fear of a camera, you know, and so anyone out there with any kind of fear or challenges, you know, you can overcome with just the power of the mind, you know, the power of belief in yourself. He also touched base on the, I mean, actually he talked a lot about the power of decision. And guys, it makes sense. I said this yesterday, yeah, about making a decision as a choice, right? Last night hangout. Just like all of us here, you know, we made decision, and over $120,000, 120,000 other affiliates with Empower made the decision to join this amazing movement, and now all of us are designing our own lives, our own freedom. I also mentioned that doing nothing is also a choice, guys. So whether you choose to do something for your life, for your family, or you do nothing, which is also a choice. But if you choose to do nothing, guess what? Nothing will change. So if you want to make changes to your life, your family for something better, whether it be time freedom, financial freedom, personal development, this I cannot guarantee you, but I can promise you, Empower will deliver that. Look at all of us, here on the panel, and 120,000 others out there. He also said something that was quite profound, and I want to repeat it. He said, the quality of our life is dictated upon by the quality of our decision. So think about that, guys. Think about that. One last thing. He said about belief, action, result, which is one of my mottos. Because I always said, I want to raise my bar. Belief, action, result. So, it's going to be one of those mottos I'm going to take with me for life. You have your strong belief, you take massive action, you will get massive results. So join us and just click on the link below, and we look forward to seeing you on the inside.
Everybody needs to write those two things down. Your quality of life depends on the quality of your decisions, and BAR, B-A-R, belief, action, results. Write that down and keep looking at it, keep focusing on it, keep thinking about it, and it's going to lead you in the right direction. Em, what's on your mind?
You guys brought up so many key points that John spoke about, and I guess I'll just go with what resonated with me most. As I took a lot of notes, it's like probably like 2 pages long. But JJ mentioned this: the quality of our lives is dictated by the quality of our decisions. I just want to go back into the story that I had shared, and if you guys didn't hear it, it's when I decided to go into this online business world. When my mom had passed away from cancer a couple of years back, and she left me some assets, some buildings for me to manage and take care of. However, when she passed away, those mortgages weren't paid off by the insurance. And so I was 20 years old. I didn't know anything. I was just devastated that I lost my mother. She decided to go back to Vietnam and pass away over there. And oh my gosh, I hope I don't break down here. I was trying to keep my composure here, but I decided to stay in university. My mom encouraged me to stay in university to finish school, because she didn't want to interrupt my life because of her situation. So she encouraged me to stay in Montreal, Quebec, while she went back to Vietnam. And I told myself, okay, you know what? I'm going to finish my exams, and once I'm done, I'm going to come and join you, which the plan was to meet her a month later. Now, on the day of my flight, that's when she had passed away. And I was devastated. I just couldn't believe that I was in the situation. So at that point, I dropped out of university, and I went on party mode. I went raving, clubbing. I was on drugs. It was just, and I just hung out with the wrong crowd. And I realized that I was under depression, and I was just trying to go out to forget the loss of my mother. And all these buildings and these assets that she left me, I didn't even take care of them. I was just totally careless about it until I started receiving these bank statements notices stating that I was going to lose these buildings if I wasn't going to pay for the mortgages. Now, at that point, when I started receiving those bank statements, that's when I knew I had to make a decision, get over myself, and start taking care of of these buildings, because not only will I affect my life and my future, but I'll also affect my younger sisters who's been depending on me. So that's how, so that's when I made the decision, so this is when I want to go back into the quality of our lives is dictated by the quality of our decisions. Have I not decided to throw myself into the business world so that, I can provide for my sisters and so I could live a better quality life for myself? I would still be probably hanging out with that wrong community crowd, and I'd probably lose everything that my mom had worked so hard for throughout her whole life to leave for her children. So guys, that it's really based on that one decision that you have to make in order to get that quality lifestyle that you've always wanted. Now I'm at a point that I'm, extremely stable. I still have my real estate buildings. I'm managing them, and it's with, especially with the vehicle of Empower Network, that I realized that, it's a journey. Right now I'm on a journey, and I'm on a journey to empower myself even more. And I've gone from different businesses, like John Chatman has gone through with different network marketing as well. And it's through those experiences and feedbacks, I'm not going to call them failure, I call them feedbacks, that I realized that Empower is what's especially made for me, and it's what's going to help me create that freedom lifestyle that I've always wanted. I'm going to talk about my other business experiences on other hangouts. Otherwise, this is probably going to take a long time. But through those challenges and obstacles and feedbacks, this is how I know that Empower is definitely the right vehicle for myself, so I can spend more time with my family, my friends, my loved ones. So guys, make sure you make you set your intentions clear, make that decision for yourself, and click on the link below. That's what I have to share, Tam. So back to you.
Awesome. Empower is definitely for you if you are a struggling, networker who's trying to build your business online. Empower is definitely for anyone who's interested in building a business online. And the funny, it's not funny, but the crazy fact about Empower is that, a very high percentage of newbies, people who people are brand new to internet marketing, and a very high percentage of struggling internet marketers like myself for the longest period of time could not make any money with any other company, program, courses, products that I've bought, right, or been a part of, and I have started to make money here with Empower. So many people have, when you come online, you're obviously, your dream is to make like thousands per day or like per month, per week, right? And a lot of people are actually making their first $1,000 day here at Empower, first $3,000 day here at Empower, and a lot more. But I have to put here a huge income disclaimer, because results are not typical, and your income guarantee never, your income are never guaranteed, right, guys? But the possibility is there. It's possible. So make sure you hit the link below. If you are interested in building a business online, or building your network marketing business online, or bringing any business for that matter online, and you want to learn high-end internet marketing strategies. Last on our panel here, we have Alan. You've been burning. I know over there you really have a lot on your mind. Please share.
Yeah, thanks, Tam. Hey, aren't these panels awesome? Every time I listen to our guest speaker and his panels, I'm just learning so much and taking massive notes. But I can totally relate with John's story. I mean, it was just really mind-blowing to see him, when he asked a question, to the panel, like, if you've gone through 2 years of not making any money, would it ever cross your mind to quit? For most people, that's the case, right? I mean, I was even thinking, like, I can totally relate to him, because I was also in this online marketing, network marketing journey for the past few years. And just like him, I got into buying some products online and jumped into multiple network marketing companies. Every single time I was promised, hey, I'll make this much, but at the end of the day, something happened, or something to fall apart, or my downline just quit. So many different reasons, but at the end it didn't work out. So I keep thinking to myself, is it really is it the company? Is it my upline? Is it what's going on, right? But I think at the end of the day, it's really myself, right? I wasn't really that mindset that I am going to be successful. But the moment I got into Empower Network, I think one thing my mentor really taught me the first time is, if you right now you might not have any result right now, but you want to see your result in advance. Where do you want to go in terms of income level? Because right now you don't have, let's say you don't have, you're just starting out, you don't have any income right now. But where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in advance? So once you see that, you work backwards towards your goal. So I took that dearly, and then and I broke. I did have a plan of action, which I'm still striving to fight every single day to get it done. Because John said something really profound. So you have to get a daily method of operation going. Because if you don't have that, life gets in your way, something happens, you're not gonna do it, right? I mean, when he said, when something is done at due at 12 a.m., people usually get on it by 11:30. I mean, I do that. I mean, most people do that, right? But right now, I mean, once I have a list of action step listed out, like I must do this every single day before I even ponder going to sleep, right? If it is a case that I need to work extra hours till 2, 3 a.m., hey, let it be, because I'm working towards my dream, my goals, and if I do anything other than that, or quit, or pondering, not doing it, then right now I'm actually not responsible or even answering to anybody but myself and my friends, and my family, right? So I think it does really have, it's really up to us to make a decision. I think keep saying over and over again is making that decision to just do it, and no excuses. Just get it done and live your dreams, right? And all of you guys watching this right now, I hope the story that we shared tonight inspire you and motivate you, and hopefully you can join us and work with us towards your dreams and your aspirations. So click the link below, and really look forward to seeing all of you guys in Denver, because events change lives, and we have all experienced that, because we all came back from events and we know how powerful events are. So back to you, Tim.
Awesome. The best time to do anything, guys, is right now. So if as you're sitting there, you're watching this right now, you're still on the fence and you're still wondering, where should I do it or not do it? I say definitely do it. Right now is the time, right? You wanna change your life. Obviously, that's why you're here. That's why you're watching this. So here's the message, right? You're watching this. You're coming here. You're looking for either the secret, or you're looking for something that's gonna help enhance your life, right? But we've been telling you all along. These guys have been telling you all along. Click the button below. Do it right now. Hit the button below. And guys, thank you for being on the panel. You guys are fantastic. John Chatman, one of the biggest hearts. One of the ladies with the biggest heart that I know. He was awesome, fantastic, and it was great having him on. John, if you're watching, thank you very much for coming on. And with that being said, guys, we are going to finish up now, and we will see you tomorrow for another fantastic hangout. Good night, guys.
Peace.